Hello everybody and welcome to a different place. This is my kitchen. Figured I would do something a little bit different. Try to cook something that I've been wanting for quite a while. I've seen a lot of recipes for it. I've seen a couple friends make it. And it's a cold, rainy day here in Texas. So I figured why not make a homemade goulash. It's got all. I'm about to show you all the ingredients here in a minute and kind of go over all the measurements and everything like that. So I'm gonna be making a homemade goulash. Also, I'm gonna be drinking a nice New Belgium beer while I'm doing this as well. So it'll be a part. It'll be a part cooking. It'll be a part of a beer review. So I want to thank you for stopping by the Lone Star Beer Reviews channel. And again, my name is Chad, and I'll be doing all kinds of different things. Like I said, cooking, drinking a beer, and just kind of explaining everything that I'm going to be doing. So, without further ado, I'll go over all the ingredients that we'll be using today. So, the ingredients are as follows. We got beef broth. We got classic olive oil, a little bit of salt, a little bit of seasoning salt, some bay leaves, some minced garlic, some black pepper, Italian seasoning, some adobo seasoning, tomato sauce, and diced tomatoes, along with the elbow macaronis. Also, it calls for a large onion, and there's the large onion. I don't know if I'll use all that, but you know, we'll see what happens. And just for a little bit of heat, decided I would throw a half a jalapeno in there. I am going to be sharing this with a few folks, so I didn't want to throw a whole jalapeno in there because I don't know how hot it's going to be. So, got my measuring cups there, so I can make sure I have the right measurements. I don't want to get too salty or anything like that. And a can opener to open up a couple cans of the tomato sauce because they are not opened. And then for the beer for the day, I will be drinking a New Belgium Voodoo Ranger American Haze IPA. It is a 5%er. It's a sessionable IPA. So I'm looking forward to this. Everything that comes out of New Belgium, any of their Voodoo Ranger beers are really, really good. So this is the beer I'll be drinking while I'm cooking. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and read off let me read off the ingredients first. Let's see here. You have 2 pounds of ground beef, or you can use ground turkey. 3 tablespoons of minced garlic, 1 large yellow onion diced up, as you saw there, 2.5 cups of water, half a cup of beef broth, half a cup of olive oil, 2 15-ounce cans of tomato sauce, 2 15-ounce cans of diced tomatoes, 1 tablespoon of Italian seasoning, 1 tablespoon of adobo seasoning, 3 bay leaves, 1 tablespoon of seasoned salt, half a tablespoon of black pepper, 2 cups of elbow macaroni, 1 cup of shredded mozzarella cheese, and 1 cup of shredded cheese. I forgot to put those out, but for the cheese, the cheddar cheese will be melted in to the pot, and then the mozzarella cheese will be the add-on to the top of everything once everything is cooked. So that's the reason why for the 2 cheeses. But I'm gonna go ahead and get those out. Also, I'm gonna go ahead and start the cooking. What it calls for is cook the ground beef. I got ground beef. I didn't get the ground turkey, so I did get ground beef. It does say to go ahead and cook the ground beef about halfway, on about medium heat. And then once it's cooked halfway, remove it from the heat, add a few ingredients, which I'll kind of tell you what I'm adding when I'm adding them. But then, you know, you put back on the heat and kind of start seasoning. So without further ado, let me get my camera set up here. Make sure y'all can see everything. So y'all can see the pot. I do see that. So I'm gonna go ahead and start the cooking process on this. Put it at about to a 6 and cook it about halfway through. I'll go ahead and pour out my beer while that is cooking. Oop. I am going to edit this video down quite a bit because it's probably going to take about an hour to do and everything. So I am going to edit it down so it's not, you know, doesn't take forever. Cause I don't know if y'all can see that. Go ahead and pour this nice cold beer here. Just have something to drink on while I'm cooking. And I hope everybody's having a great day. Hope the weather where everybody's at is nice. Like I said, here in Texas we just had that big snowstorm. It wasn't very fun, but it's been nice, you know, 70s, 80s, you know, since then. And then today we got, you know, it's a little bit cold, rainy, so yeah, I figured why not make a homemade goulash. So here we are in the Lone Star kitchen. But yeah, this recipe, like I said, I've seen a few of my friends make it. I've seen a bunch of recipes online. I kind of tweaked it and added a few things to it that I thought, you know, like I said, the jalapenos. I just added a couple different things that, you know, I figured would go good with this. So I'm just waiting for the pan to get up to you know, sizzling point so I can at least cook the meat about halfway, because it doesn't call, because as it continues to cook with all the tomato sauce and everything like that in it, the meat will continue to cook. That's why you only want to cook it halfway. And while that's going, I'm gonna go ahead and open up my tomato sauces. And I can already hear the meat starting to sizzle, so that's good. Hopefully it won't take very long. But this does serve quite a few people. You know, it calls for 2 cups of macaroni. I'll probably put a little bit more in there. We'll just kind of see how the pot all, you know, see how full the pot gets and things like that. But I'll probably put a little bit more than 2 cups in there. I'm sure y'all can hear the meat starting to sizzle. Give it a little turn around here. The reason why I'm doing it all in a big pot, I mean, normally I would cook meat in a skillet, I get it. But everything's going to go into this pot, so I figured why dirty up 2 pots, just dirty up 1 and call it a day. So, you know, obviously the meat's a little bit pink right now. Once it starts getting a little bit brown, then we can start adding some ingredients to it here. So I'll probably be eating on this for quite a while. And if you haven't already, please give this video a like, subscribe, leave it a comment. Every little bit helps. Like I said, this is my first cooking type video, so this is a little bit new. That sit for a little while and start cooking up. If you can look, the American Haze got a nice head on it, nice creamy head. Got a finger length head on it, so pretty tasty beer. I can see the meat starting to cook up nicely here, so keep kind of breaking it down a little bit so it's not a bunch of big chunks everywhere. I know, you know, through some live streams and through a couple people, I've been talking about doing this. I should have done this a couple days ago, but with school and all kinds of stuff going on, you know, really haven't had a whole lot of time to do it. So today, figured why not? The weather permits for it. It's nasty outside, so figured give this a go. Starting to turn brown a little bit, so like I said, I'm not going to cook it all the way through because it will continue to cook with all the ingredients in there as well, and I don't want it to be overdone meat. So maybe a couple more minutes here and start adding some ingredients. So there are some things that everybody likes to cook on a rainy, cold day. You know, you like to make pasta, do you make soups, do you make chili? What kind of stuff y'all normally like to make? Leave a comment and let me know. I'm kind of intrigued because I'm starting to, you know, look at more and more recipes and hanging out with some cooking channels and stuff like that. So, I mean, I've been getting some ideas for, you know, kind of what to do. As you can see, the meat's starting to brown up a little bit, so I'm not going to cook it all the way through again because it'll keep cooking. I don't want to have tough hamburger meat, or tough ground beef rather. So that's about halfway cooked. Like I said, most of it, you know, still see a little bit of pink, which is good. It's exactly where we need it. I'm gonna pull this off the heat for a minute. Let's see here. Oop. My computer just froze on me. There we go. So now it's calling for the garlic, the onions, olive oil, and cooking till the meat is all the way cooked. So let's see here. So for the garlic, we get 3 tablespoons. Again, just using minced garlic. You know, nothing fancy. I didn't really want to chop a bunch of garlic, so I just got the minced in a jar. So we get 3 tablespoons of this. And this is my first time doing this, so if it doesn't taste good, then obviously I won't be sharing this out. So 3 tablespoons of that. Let's see here. Calling for the onion. Just go ahead and scrape the onion in here. It looks like a lot of onions. I'm hoping there's not a real onion presence, but with all the other seasonings, I'm sure it'll be just fine. Onions in there. I'll probably throw the jalapeno in there as well, so the meat and that can start tasting a little bit like jalapeno. And some olive oil. We got 1/3 of a cup of olive oil. So, 1/3 of the cup, 1/3 of the cup, 1/3 of the cup. Alright, 1/3 of a cup of olive oil is in. The garlic's in there. The onions are in there. And you know what? Why not? I'm going to go ahead and dump the jalapenos in there as well. doesn't start cooking up and cooking up with everything. So, and that did include the seeds. Like I said, that's only a half a jalapeno. I did include seeds, so it'll have a nice little bite to it. Then we'll return that back to the heat, and we will start to cook it down for the rest of the way. And we will cook this down until the meat is all the way cooked. So give this a big stir. You can kind of see everything in there, the onions, the garlic, the jalapenos. Kind of see everything in there. Give it all a stir. I turn the heat back up, so it's still at a medium heat. It's about at a 6. So it's a big pot. If I did anything less than that, it probably wouldn't do anything. And you can tell the pot's starting to fill up with just all this. I did dice the onions up pretty small. I mean, there's some big chunks in there, but it is what it is. So we're going to let that cook for a little bit. Get that meat nice and cooked. It's starting to smell pretty darn good already with just onions, jalapeno, and garlic in there. So I'll let that cook and get that sizzling. Again, everybody, cheers. Hope everybody's having a good day. Yeah, well, you're not staring at meat the whole time. I'll kind of show you something interesting. So, obviously, I liked my craft beers. So, top of my cabinets, I got all kinds of different craft beers. Some bottles of liquor. Kind of get a good view of everything here. And a couple on down there as well. So yeah, that's my little collection. There's 1 cup. There's 2 cups. Half a cup, 2.5 cups of water. We have a half a cup of beef broth. So a half a cup of beef broth here. Tomato sauce. So we got 2 cans of tomato sauce, 15 ounces. That's 1 can. 2 can, Sam. Got the tomato sauce in there. Throw the diced tomatoes in here. So 2 cans, 2 15-ounce cans of diced tomatoes as well. So yeah, you can. The pot's starting to get full. So yeah, I understand why they're saying only 2 cups of macaroni. So the Italian seasoning. We go a tablespoon of Italian seasoning. tablespoon of Italian. I don't do good at measurements while I'm using a I'll call that a tablespoon. I need to throw 3 bay leaves in here. So I got the bay leaves. One. Some big ones in here for some flavor. There's 2. There we go. Bay leaves in there. Seasoning salt. We're going a tablespoon of seasoning salt. Don't want to put too much. So the adobo is pretty salty as well. We got pepper, so half a tablespoon of black pepper. Adobo seasoning. So we're doing a tablespoon of adobo. This adobo, I've never tried it before, but from what I hear, it's very, very salty. I'm not going to use too much. Just enough for a little bit of flavor. You mix that up really, really well, and then you lower the heat. So let me mix this up really well here. Should start to take a little bit of a red color. And then we will lower the heat and let that cook for about 20 minutes or so. Kind of simmer it up a little bit. Get all the flavors incorporated. Starting to smell pretty good. Alright, that's nice and mixed. So let me turn the heat down. Just turn the heat down to maybe about a 3. And it says stir it occasionally, so I'll be coming back and forth to stir that. Put up all the stuff that I've already used so I can kind of clean up a little. Alright, so this has been simmering for probably about 20 minutes, give or take. So now what we're going to do is add the pasta. The elbow pasta. Calls for 2 cups. You know, I'll put it in as much as I can without it hopefully going and boiling over. Once I do this, then it sits for another 30 minutes. So like I said, I'll be editing that out so you're not sitting for 30 minutes. This a good stir. See if I can add any more. And as the noodles cook, obviously they'll come to the top. So. Add a little bit more noodle. They'll soak up a lot of this liquid, so that's what I'm kind of hoping for, so it's not so liquidy. It's starting to smell good, starting to look good. Hopefully some of this liquid will evaporate while it's simmering. And hopefully some of these noodles will pick up some of the sauce as well. Right now it's very saucy. So everything's all mixed in. Cover it, let it sit for about half an hour. Go from there. It's not a big deal. If you can't find them, just when you're eating it, look for them, pull them out if you find them. I mean, they're typically do float to. Oh, there's an eye piece, so found one. Got an eye piece of one. Don't mistake them for the jalapenos. If you decide to put jalapenos in them, don't mistake them for that. I don't know how you would, but alright, I don't see any more popping to the top, so I'll just let it be what it is. Throw some cheese in here, get it nice and gooey. After I make a freaking mess everywhere on my stove. If you don't have a big enough pot, that's one thing you got to be very careful of is, you know, splashing over the edge, because it still is a little bit soupy, but it has thickened up quite a bit since the pasta has been introduced. But yeah, the bigger the pot, the better for this. You know, I did 2 pounds of hamburger meat, which is probably way too much. That's what it called for. I mean, I'm going to be eating this for a while, needless to say. And for the cheese, it says half a cup of cheddar. So it says a half a cup of cheddar. I'm just going to eyeball it. I love cheese. I want this to be gooey, so I'm just going to eyeball it. I'll probably go a little bit more. Just because I like my stuff gooey and cheesy. And plus I am pretty damn cheesy, so it is what it is. As you can see, it's starting to kind of take a little bit of shape. It's thickening it up real well. The noodles soaked up a lot of the liquid. And you add the mozzarella. Oh, I found another bay leaf. Ah, where'd it go? Alright, another bay leaf found. It says to stir it really well. Make sure you get all the cheese everywhere in here. So I'm trying to give it a good stir. Plus I'm trying to find that one last bay leaf. There it is. So imagine on this big ass pot of food, I happen to find all the bay leaves. Pretty remarkable. There might be a sliver of one more in here, but I'm not gonna press it. We pretty much have it. big old pot of goulash. Let it sit for another couple minutes. Let the cheese kind of melt in there really well. Turn the heat down a little bit. And so when I make a dish, I'll put the mozzarella cheese on top of it, and it'll probably melt, while I'm eating it. Also, you could, if you like, you could put a dollop of sour cream on top of it. I'm not going to, because I want to get the full flavor. I don't want the sour cream to, ruin the flavor. So I'm going to try it once without the sour cream, and then maybe once I do another bowl of it, then I'll probably do some sour cream. But on the first one, I'm not going to use sour cream. That's pretty much it. Like I said, that's homemade goulash right there. And it's got everything: noodles, onions, jalapenos, garlic, seasoning salt, beef broth, tomato sauce, diced tomatoes, hamburger meat or ground beef, noodles. I mean, it's got everything. It looks. If I had smell-o-vision, that would be even better. Smell-o-vision on this is phenomenal. I mean, that is, yeah. Yeah, if I had smell-o-vision, I am going to take this, I am going to make a bowl of it, so I can also get a picture of it. But I'll kind of show you what it looks like when it's all bowled up with all the cheese. It smells so good. Change spoons. The wooden spoons wouldn't really give me a scoop, so. And it'll keep cooking, even though turn the heat off, it'll keep cooking. The pot's still warm. Like I said, the longer it sits, for a couple days, I'm sure that will just get better and better and better. I'm going to put a little bit of mozzarella on top of my bowl here. He said you could do a little bit of sour cream as well if you really wanted to. Move you over here, and that is a bowl of goulash with some mozzarella on top. That looks nice. It's thick, it's warm, it's hearty. It'll be pretty darn good. So with all that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and end the video here so I can eat, because I'm hungry. So I hope you enjoy. Like I said, like, subscribe, ring the bell, comment. Let me know what's your favorite cold weather dish. This is my first time making it, so I'll let you know how it goes. But yeah, this is Lone Star Beer Reviews. This is Chad. I'm out. If you see me, beer me. Cheers.